This sign indicates that the highway and the track run parallel to one another, and to be careful and cautious that the area between the track and the road are small, and that you have to be. You know what? This is an important.
Where does that show up? I want to see that sign somewhere in America.
Absolutely.
Is that just on your shirt?
No, it's not just on my shirt.
Have you ever seen it out
absolutely,
driving?
absolutely. A great degree of danger in many different directions, not only crossing this way, but also crossing the other way.
Yeah, when you see that sign that John Drive Saves Dave's shirt, you have to stop, collaborate, and listen, right? I mean, that's basically kind of what we're saying
Little
right
vanilla
there.
ice going on out there.
And you know, with the winter weather, ice is back.
Canada, 400 trucks are they getting in or getting out?
Getting into Canada.
Getting into Canada. They're stuck because of that winter freeze that happened over Monday as well. 400 trucks. That's we talk about the backup in the ocean. This is 400.
Yeah, but let's be honest. I mean, 400 trucks is a lot, but let's be honest. 400 trucks, that's about 1/50th of what is on one container ship in the ocean.
Yeah, it's not really a comparison on that. But yeah, it's just amazing. We have to remember this, that as winter weather comes upon us,
be prepared.
Be prepared, be ready. Make sure as well, Drive Safe, that you have some essentials. And those essentials could be toilet paper, water, something to eat. Never a bad thing to have.
Power bars, one of the best things that you can have in the truck that you can keep, like snack bars, power bars.
Yeah, because
they last.
The power bar for certain, because they're never any good anyway. So even when you're hungry and you've been there for days, they may be their absolute best.
They're one of the best things you've ever eaten after you've been stuck for a day or two, because you know what? And they hide well. They set well in the truck. You can stack a whole bunch of them up, and they don't take a lot of room.
Yeah, they don't take any room at all. And what other things should we have? Flashlight.
Gloves.
Blankets.
I prefer, and I always carried one, believe it or not, a wool blanket, one of those army wool blankets. You put one of those on, you'll cook. And I don't care how cold it is outside. You put one of those wool blankets on. I always have great weather gear, winter gear. Make sure that you have some kind of reflective device that you can set out there, your triangles. Not only that, I always recommend anything else. But more importantly, have yourself one of those storage batteries, one of those batteries that you can recharge your phone, or you can get your phone charged up if you ever need to. Make sure that you have, because one thing you always want to do is be able to communicate. You want to be able to communicate to emergency services, or you want to be able to communicate to your dispatch. You want to be able to communicate.
Any history buffs out there? Y'all know I'm not a big history guy.
I am.
One of us is supposedly in here.
I let it
But
go.
yesterday was Pearl Harbor Day.
It was December 7th. A date that will live in infamy was the invasion and the attack on Pearl Harbor by the Japanese prior to the Americans entering into World War II. And it actually was the direct result of, I'll tell you, probably three of the most important things that resulted in this attack. Number one, it basically brought the nation together in a unified front to go ahead and enter into the war, which it was both basically split at the time. Number two, it actually marked the beginning of what you would say that women entering into the workforce for the first time in huge numbers to get the industry rolling. And I will also tell you that it absolutely was the first time that a black man won the Navy Cross, the highest honor ever given. So a lot of things catapulted the America and changed forever the way we look at things out there for this country.
Yeah, Kendra and I had the opportunity. My wife and I had the opportunity to go when we went to Hawaii. Check that out, and it was very quiet. I didn't realize at the time that nearly half the death occurred on the USS Arizona, like 1,177 American deaths
almost
alone.
Most, 2/3 during the attack. 2/3 happened on that one ship alone, and I believe 1,100 men went down, officers and sailors went down with the ship. And I'll tell you you know what, we left it alone. There were only 2 ships that weren't raised during the attack, and that was one of them was the Arizona. And I'll tell you, it's a somber place. It's a place of reverence. If you ever get an opportunity to go there, I wish that you do. And you know what I found fascinating is that I saw a lot of, when I was there was a large contingency of Japanese people also visiting the same place in understanding that this was the beginning of the end for them as well. I mean, this marked their this marked an attack that they did, but it basically started a moment of which tragedy for both nations, right?
We are running out of places here in Texas. I'm saying Californians are coming here in droves, right? We have Austin, San Antonio. Everybody's coming here. And you even had Cuban. Cuban just bought a city, Mustang City, just like 55 miles south of Dallas. The dude buys a city. What is up with that? How do you buy a city anyway? Can somebody come in here and buy Fort Worth?
No.
I mean, it was a population of 26, and he bought it for $2 million, which is crazy that you can buy an entire town.
Did he just buy the land? I mean, is that now his? Because Sir Rick is liking this right here. You know
Rick
what?
wants a town.
Can I get a kingdom of Sir Rick somewhere in here? What can you do when you own this? Can you put your own wall around this town? It's yours?
A fort.
A fort?
Make it a fort. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure what the whole
there hasn't really been a declaration of motive behind this purchase.
Well, there is. He said he had a friend who needed to sell it, and so he's like, okay, I'll buy it for you, but not for the $4 million that you have it listed. I'll buy it for $2 million.
So it has a trailer park in it and a strip club. Now, is that like a strip club?
It's like a strip club, and I think it's funny because the real estate broker that sold it to him said it's not in good repair, but it could be redone for something. So you can always fix this strip club up.
I mean,
a strip club in disrepair. That.
With a population of 23, I mean, who's in this strip club anyway? I'm out on that. I just can't imagine. Yes. I mean, where are you getting your people? Where are you getting it's hard to hire people today anywhere. Okay, now you have a population of 23.
Quality of service is what we're talking about here. Quality of service.
A lot of pressure gets put on those independent contractors by companies like that. And, and my question on that, Drive Safe, and it really is who's looking at what they're doing? Just because you're a trucking company, you have an independent contractor working for you, it doesn't give you the right to not see what they're doing. If you have fleet owners, if you have independent contractors running under you, pulling your freight, you still can't run them illegal. You do have some accountability. And I do say this, that ignorance is not bliss when it comes to items like this, because technology data says you know what's going on, even if it's not your fleet. If you're a fleet manager out there, if you're a driver manager, if you're a safety person out there, there's so much data out there that you really don't have an excuse, a reason anymore to miss items like that.
We do have a lot of videos this morning, and the first two, we're going to talk about quick lane changes. We're in a decent position, and folks, this is where the error happens, right? There's somebody in the lane, so instead of getting off the gas and keeping that space and making that safe lane change, we just jump out. We go from one tailgate situation to another that's dangerous. If something happens right here, you have no time to react. Right here, you got to get out and keep that space growing. And again, the reality is you're going to make that same lane change approximately in the same location that you did anyway. Even if you slow down now and you're patient, right? Takes a little bit longer, but you're going to end up in the general same area making the lane change. So why not do it safer?
Yeah, and the reason on this too, a reason for this is that vehicle in the middle lane, if for any reason it has to stop for, some debris in the road, you're not able to stop in time to avoid hitting it. So there's reasons for this. Drive safe.
Yeah, if you look at the video right now, when you're directly behind both vehicles, you wouldn't travel that distance behind both of those vehicles. What makes it okay to travel at it at any time? So always give yourself plenty of room in the chain. You know what? The cruise, get off the cruise. Yep. Kill the cruise and allow yourself a safe distance for a changeover and communicate well ahead and all the way into the lane. Don't just blink it once and then move over or blink it twice. Make sure that you allow the indicator all the way into the lane so everybody knows your intention.
Yeah, and the purposeful part of these videos is when you see this right now, we know that you're going to come across this today probably 5, 6, 8, 20 times, is to think about it and to put some strategy, some forward thinking in it before you just switch lanes. Look out for that vehicle that's moving over next to you. Don't tailgate it. It doesn't make it right.
No, and it's aggressive driving. And again, angry driving, aggressive driving is on the rise again. I heard on the news this morning that in the last week, Dallas has its second fatality due to the angry driving or whatever. I forget the name they would call it all of a sudden. But again, hey, slow that chaos down. You don't know what they're dealing with. Here in this video, again, 2 mistakes. Actually, more than that. You got the truck there that passes the white lines. Then this truck passes the white lines, but also does it over 2 lanes right away. Folks, patience, right? You've got good space here. They come in, just back off right here. Just back off. Right now, you're not supposed to go over the double line, and then you make the 2-lane changes, fairly quickly. Be patient in these situations. You've got to. Now, again, great job by this driver. Got a little wet pavement, right? Stays in the lane, starts to slow down. You can see that speed drop for the merge. Great job by this driver. Got flashers on in the lane in front. Just, creating a safe zone for all drivers, not just him or herself.
Way to pay attention.
Awesome
more than
job.
Them construction zones, I mean, they really are. They're tricky. They're dangerous. There's just, when you have the merge points like this, now you have a white line next to you, right? Into your left lane. You have a UPS truck. You have cars merging on to your right. You have a vehicle in front of you. You have lane shifting right here, the signs for that. You just have to be on your very best when you go into these construction zones. And this, for certain, there's no time to speed. You can't speed in these because of all of these decisions that have to happen. And you must give yourself some space from that vehicle in front of you.
Yeah, great job here.
Yeah, and those solid white lines are in those construction zones are designed and put in place so that you don't change lanes. They don't want you jockeying in and out of lanes inside these construction zones because it makes a confusing environment and a dangerous environment while doing so. So these lines are designed to stay within the lane. I think probably my favorite part about this is knowing very well, saw that flashing up ahead and slowed down so much. I mean, a great job all around here.
Kudos to the driver with the flashers on as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Again, this driver does a really good job. Again, this truck's going to turn. Speed is great. Able to stop. Well, would have been able to stop if that truck all of a sudden just sits there. Just a great job at being patient and staying in your lane. There was no quick lane change there. It was just, hey, I can stop, so I'm staying right here. Great job again.
360 post.
Yep. And here, man, oh man, intersections, folks. Dangerous. Look at this. Ooh. It's yellow, yes, but you can see they were probably red already for a second or so and running the red light. Just craziness.
What's funny is that as that car with that box truck in front of it, as they approached, he probably saw green. And when the box truck ran, though, he couldn't see it as he got too close because that box truck probably shielded his view of the light.
I'm saying the box truck knew that he was.
The box truck did, but the guy behind him.
No, the box truck ran a yellow light. You can see
there
by
was no
his
green.
speed. Yeah.
There was no
Look
green.
at him. He's going.
Yeah.
He has not slowed down going through that intersection at all.
Oh no!
In hopes of getting through it. While he ran the light. That driver there needs to understand what a stale green light is. That driver needs some BCB live in his heart.
He does.
And as unfortunately, as a person that have done this, that car said, okay, the truck's going to make it. I'm safe if the closer I get to that truck because, obviously if he doesn't get hit, I'm not going to get hit. And I've done that before with that thinking. So again, I really believe the car behind it was said, okay, I'm going to make it too. And then as you can see,
did you
great
see the
job.
car parked on the roadway? I mean, it was
a lot going on at these intersections.
Oh.
Here again, great space, not in a hurry to get through the light. Just able to stop if they had to. This is what we're talking about. Folks, we're not saying you got to stop at every green light, but slow down and be prepared to stop. Great job. Kept the space here. Got through the light. It didn't go on them, but they did it in a safe fashion. They were able to react to anything.
Yeah, well, we're actually not saying you have to stop at any green light.
Man, oh man, great job by this truck. Look at this.
A lot going on here.
Yeah, and look, a lot of illegal. Look at several cars are going to just hook around them.
Goodness.
The truck is stopped. Great job by this driver just sitting here and slowing the chaos down.
What's going on here?
Looks like the truck's stuck in the intersection. Yeah. I don't know if they misjudged the turn. I'm not sure what happened, but they've got the whole thing blocked.
Looks like he's in the crosswalk.
Well,
yeah. 4 cyclists are going to get hit. They're going to hit a truck. And this one, a driver sent this in. Man, oh man, this is not good. Folks, the point of this show is to be safe out there, protect all life. You can see the fire up ahead. You can see that there's not much left of this vehicle. It looks like there's at least 2 there. Man, we've got to slow down. This is why we talk about the quick lane changes, the slower speed, managing your space. You've got to be able to react, and as you can see, many here could not react to whatever happened in this, and I'm sure some people have lost their life. All right. Hey, we've been talking about lane changes, and unfortunately, we're going to see some videos where the third one is, hey, don't make them quick. Now, there is all kinds of, what I found was there are many different organizations that believe that, they got different time frames of how long it should take. And traffic makes a big difference, right? If you're in heavy traffic, you want to try to avoid it. But if you got to make a lane change, then it's going to take a little bit longer time because people are going to jut out and jump out around you. So as you do this, the typical thing that landed on was it should take around 4 to 6 seconds to make a safe lane change. Your blinker, almost every one of them, the sites agree that your blinker should be on 3 seconds before you attempt to make the maneuver. And that's in a generality. And then move slowly into the lane. Don't just say, okay, I've had it on for 3 seconds and jump there. Make sure somebody hasn't got impatient, jumped up around you. They talk about looking at your mirrors once or twice, in that while the blinker's on. So that should take you a good 4 seconds, and then gradually move over into that lane. Avoid the quick lane change, and that's going to help you reduce the opportunity for accidents. You've signaled, you've let your intentions known for a good 3 or 4 seconds. Everybody's had time to prepare, and they know you're coming over, and then gradually, slowly do that to avoid lane change accidents.